I clearly came a bit too early. Okay, imagine this. You're sitting in your exam, the paper's on your desk, you've studied, you know this. But suddenly there is this voice in your head that says, what if I forget everything? What if I mess up? What if everyone else does better than me? And then you notice your heart is racing, your palms are sweaty, and your mind is starting to go blank. And then imagine someone coming next to you and saying, relax, don't worry. Does the fear go away? No. In fact, it gets louder. And that moment, the fear, the pressure, the anxiety, the self-doubt, that is the chaos that I want to talk about today. Not the chaos outside us, but the chaos within. Because the quality of our emotions that we feel on a regular basis quietly shapes the quality of our lives. If you're worried all the time, you're going to have a worried life. What we feel on the inside decides how we perform in exams, how we react under pressure, how we show up at home, and how we even experience success and failure. And depending on where we are in life, this chaos shows up accordingly. For students, it shows up in exams, in results, in comparisons, in expectations. For parents, it shows up as, am I doing enough for my child? Why am I feeling so overwhelmed all the time? This guilt of not being able to be present. For teachers, it shows up as this weight of having to shape young minds, the pressure of always having to have the right answer. Different roles, different lives, but the same inner experience. The fear of failing, the fear of falling behind, the fear of rejection. And this is the chaos that we're all living with today. And unfortunately, most of us grew up learning only one strategy, to push through. Be strong, don't cry. Just move ahead. And that's exactly what we do. We ignore our emotions, we distract ourselves, we Netflix our emotions, we binge eat our emotions, we drink our emotions, we smoke our emotions, and somewhere along the way we tell ourselves, I shouldn't be feeling this way. But here's the irony. The more you try to push your emotions away, the louder they become. What you resist always has a way of persisting. I want you all to think of your emotions as this warning light on your car dashboard. When the light turns on and you take a tape and you mask it, does the problem go away? Obviously not. So if you ignore your emotions, they're not going to go away. And that warning light, it's not saying there's something wrong with you. Your emotions are saying, I need your attention. In fact, there is this idea that completely changed the way I look at emotions. I don't believe that there are any bad emotions. So whether it's anger, guilt, jealousy, depression, sadness, loneliness, none of them are bad emotions. Some may be challenging, some may be difficult, but none of them are useless or bad. In fact, Tony Robbins calls them as action signals. And this is what I have learned and understood and experienced, and it's changed how I experience life. I want you all to think of your emotions as signals from your mind. Each of them is carrying a message. Each of them is offering a choice. A choice to pause, a choice to listen, a choice to change. When you stop labeling your emotions as bad and you start labeling them as signals, they stop feeling random and they start feeling intelligent. To give you an example, anxiety. Anxiety isn't here to break your confidence. Anxiety shows up when something matters to you. Before an exam, before a presentation, before having a difficult conversation. Anxiety is your mind telling you, pay attention, stay alert. That heart racing is your mind saying, stay alert. Not because you can't handle it, but because you care. Fear. Fear shows up when you're trying something new. Fear is not saying quit. Fear is not saying don't start, don't say. Fear shows up only because your mind, your subconscious mind, is saying, in case you try or start or do, you might fail or you might get rejected. So fear is just a protection mechanism keeping you stuck. That's what procrastination is. Sadness. Sadness does not mean you're weak. Sadness shows up when something meaningful to you changed. A loss, a disappointment, a goodbye. Sadness is basically your mind and your heart saying, let me feel it so that I can move on. Not let me just move on so I no longer have to feel it, because that obviously never works. And anger. This is the most misunderstood emotion of all. Please understand that before anger, there is usually hurt. Hurt from feeling disrespected, feeling unheard, feeling unseen. Instead of looking at anger and judging it, ask yourself, maybe I need to change the way I communicate my needs. Maybe I need to change my rules and standards that I have kept for myself and the opposite person in such a way that both the needs are met. When you start looking at your emotions like this, they will start feeling intelligent. Let's try this together, all right? I want you all to just close your eyes. Just trust me, close your eyes. And I want you to think of one emotion that has been really, really loud in your life lately. Forget that you're in this auditorium right now. It's just you. Close your eyes and allow yourself to go deeper, drift deeper, sink deeper. And you're going into your own internal awareness. And this emotion is showing up. Maybe it's anger, fear, guilt, stress, whatever it is for you. Let it come up, but very important, I do not want you to judge it. Acknowledge it, accept it, listen to it. And your emotion right now is giving you a message. Maybe anxiety is saying pause instead of panic. Maybe fear is saying practice instead of procrastinate. Whatever that emotion is, listen to the message it is saying, and there is a need your emotion has right now. It's saying, I need you to do this for me. And when you get that message, I want you to ask yourself, how can I honor this message today? Keeping your eyes closed, just visualize yourself honoring that message, honoring that need, taking an action, because emotions don't calm down when you silence them. Emotions calm down when you listen to them and they're acted upon. You can open your eyes, and if you've done this right, something shifts. The emotion feels less heavy, the chaos feels less intense, and clarity begins to emerge. But please understand, this doesn't happen immediately. You don't listen to your emotion once and you feel calm for the rest of your life. It doesn't work that way, because your mind doesn't work that way. Your mind needs repetition, just like studying, practicing a sport, trying a new instrument. So the next time when an emotion comes up, instead of panicking, try pausing. You will notice you're creating a new pattern. Chaos isn't here to break you. It is here to guide you. So the next time when the fear shows up, or you start feeling that heart racing, or the self-doubt gets really loud, don't silence it. Sit with it, listen to it, and respond to it. When you stop fighting the chaos, you don't just survive it, you grow through it. Thank you.
Thank you for showing us how emotional clarity can bring calm to chaos.